Well, hi there, everybody. I'm Jack Church, and this is my podcast, The Jack Church Show. Of course, some of you may be watching via my YouTube channel, Traveling with Jack and Pam. And as I always say, either way, thanks for joining us. Today, it's going to be a pretty short message, and I'm finding the shorter the message, the longer you listen, if you know what I'm saying there. Anyway, I had an interesting Tuesday. I woke up with what I call morning sickness. No, not the type that the ladies who are with child have, that type of morning sickness. As far as I know, it'd be impossible for me to have that anyway. But I call it morning sickness, M-O-U-R-N-I-N-G. Morning sickness can happen to anybody who may have experienced some type of loss. My case, the loss of a wife. Your case could be the loss of a job, loss of a spouse, the loss of a child, the loss of a big bet on a football game that you feel really bad about the next morning. But in my case, what morning sickness feels like is I wake up and I literally feel a little queasy. I don't feel myself. I'm restless. But I know I've got to get up and get going with the day. And I've noticed this in the past year since I lost my sweet Pam, that this happens on a more regular basis than I would like. And if you talk to professional grief counselors and people like that, they'll tell you it's perfectly normal to feel that way. So if you're having those feelings, don't be afraid of it. We just got to kind of work through it. I talked to a friend of mine who she lost her husband not long ago as well. And she says she gets morning sickness at night because that's her toughest time. So it may hit you at different times of the day. So how do I address it? Well, first and foremost, I have found that laying in bed does not help it at all. And when I first get up, I actually can feel a little wobbly and just really off. I don't know how to describe it. And I think part of it too is the fact we're waking up, in my case, to an empty home. Nobody to talk with. You know, I can't reach over and hug my wife or squeeze her little booty like I used to. No, nothing like that. So I found though that if I get up, get my shower, get ready, and get out of the house, I feel a lot better. That may sound very simplistic, but it's true. I'm going to tell you, I've tried where I get up, get ready, maybe go sit on the couch, do something, and it's like, no, I'm still not feeling it. But if I just go outside the house, get away from what feels like negative energy in the home where she passed, unfortunately, I feel better. Now, I don't know if I believe in this whole concept, because I'm actually, as I've told you before, I'm a Christian. But I also am open to the possibilities of things out there, and there feels like negative energy in our home. And I think that's why it helps me so much to be outside. Like right now, I'm outside in the woods, taking a walk before I go to work. I feel better out here. So on that day, that Tuesday, when I was having my morning sickness, and I got outside and I felt better, I then felt inspired to do something. And you know what it was? Of course you don't. Well, here it is. There are a bunch of medical records of Pam's over the last year when she was going through her disease, which eventually took her life, at least her life here on earth. She now has a heavenly life. But anyway, those files are in two different locations in our home. One is in a file cabinet that I open every couple of days to get other things out of, and I see those files. And then sometimes I'm tempted to reread the files. I have no idea why anybody for enjoyment would read medical files, but I do. And then I start questioning decisions. Why did we do this? Why didn't we do that? And it's unhealthy. I'm going to tell you, that is unhealthy. Going down that memory lane is no good. Those are bad memory files. So you know what I did? On this Tuesday in the afternoon, before I went to work, I pulled all those files out and I shredded them. I shredded them to smithereens. I then went out to our garage where there's another, it's a box, it had medical records in it, and I knew it was there. I took them all out and I ripped them up and I shredded them piece by piece. I then took them to the dumpster and got rid of them. As I was walking back from the dumpster, do you know what happened to me? It was pretty darn amazing. It felt like a 10,000-pound weight had been lifted off of my shoulder. I had a little more spring in my step, and I could feel myself smiling. And you know what I think? I think Pam was smiling too. And she was like, "Thank you, honey. Thank you for getting rid of those bad memory files." Do I regret getting rid of all those files? No. 100% no. I'm so glad I did it. Now, I had someone comment when I told them about this. They went, "Oh, that's good. You're moving on." Had to correct them. No, no, no. Not moving on from Pam. I've told you that's really, that I prefer the term moving forward is what I'm doing. Pam will always be with me. She'll always be in my heart and soul. But I don't need some crappy medical records with depressing information around to tell me about Pam. Because that was just a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of her life here on earth and our life here together. So I'm going to cherish the good memories. Out with the bad, out with the old. Keep the good memories. And now I'm building new memories. Think about it. I now have a new happy memory. The day I destroyed those crappy medical records. I feel good about it. Can you tell? Well, I do. And I hope maybe you'll consider doing the same. Don't hang on to that stuff that has attached to it those bad memories. You got some medical files out there that are ugly and you don't like looking at them, get rid of them. It could even be financial records that are just bugging you, that are just a bad memory. You don't know why you're hanging on to them. Maybe you got to hang on to them for tax purposes, I don't know. But cleaning out is good. It's good for the heart, good for the soul, good for the mind. That's the message for today. Did I keep it short enough? I hope so. Also, thanks for your support here. There is a way on our podcast, if you look on Spotify or any of the major apps where you're listening to this from, where you can help support this show financially. Now, I don't talk about this very much, but I'd really appreciate it if you would consider a monthly donation. It's kind of like supporting PBS, NPR, or Christian radio, something like that. The levels are 99 cents a month, $4.99 a month, or $9.99 a month. That is if you think this show is beneficial to others, because I am hoping to continue to grow it and make this my calling. I feel it is. We'll see how that works out, okay? Until we talk later, be sure and share this with others that might benefit, either on our podcast or our YouTube channel as well. And as I always say, you know what? Let's make it a great day, and guess what? We're going to make it a better tomorrow. Bye now.